Welcome back to Dalesha's Life.
Hi guys, welcome back to Dalesha's Life. I'm Manny.
I'm Dalesha.
And today we're going to do part 3 of our Argentina trip because we wanted to kind of
come back here and explain
some things that I don't think we didn't really get to explain on video, showing you things that just the sequence of events and the craziness that ensued really was not properly shown on the video. So take it away, Dalesha.
So day 1, we were supposed to get on the airplane, and he forgot our passports, so we drove an hour and a half there, right? It was an hour and a half.
Yeah, and that we explained on part 1. You know, I never ever in my life happened to me before, but for the first time, it's so fine. So we had to take a plane the next day instead of the day we were supposed to fly out. So that we already
touched on. So we got there Thursday. It was a Wednesday that we were supposed to fly.
Right.
And then...
No, we were supposed to leave on Tuesday and arrive Wednesday. We ended up leaving Wednesday and arriving Thursday.
Okay, there we go. And so we get there.
And then we also explained to you guys about the plane, right? Maybe not very well, but when we were on the last plane, the coronavirus thing was already a big deal, but it wasn't as big as it is today when I'm recording this.
Say the virus or the epidemic.
The coronavirus epidemic.
But I think YouTube, that's what
Okay, coronavirus epidemic. Fine.
No, I'm saying don't say the C part.
Well, no, the epidemic, you can bleep it out then, fine.
I can't, but we'll see what YouTube does.
Well, fine. Well, we're talking seriously about it.
I know, but I'm telling you from other people's videos. Should we start over?
No. Well, anyway, fine. So the point is, it was in our other video, so we're going to talk about it. But so we went, and because of that, when we were on the last plane, the announcement had just come out that the President of the United States decided to ban all flights to and from Europe. And so everybody was obviously we were going to South America, so completely opposite sides of the world, but everybody was scared. The pilots weren't sure about everything, so they contacted the government of Argentina. They contacted everybody. Fine, eventually, yes, we can go, no problem, but there was still some communication issues, so about 1/3 of the plane got off.
I was going to say, that's when we were sitting there before we even got to Argentina.
Right.
It sounded like we were in Argentina.
No, we were on the plane waiting to leave Atlanta. So then let's go to day 2, because that all pretty much you saw there, guys.
Yeah, we just didn't explain it.
Go.
So day 2 is when we finally get there. It's hot, so we're all we're in our fall winter stuff except for our big jackets because it was so hot. I mean, because it was chilly here, but it was summer there. So we get off the plane and. As you saw in the video, if you watched it, there's like a little bridge area, and we weren't sure how it was to work with getting someone to help us to the luggage area, which when we got to the luggage area, it was nice because since we had the assistance, we got past what are those line of people who we saw?
Everybody who was going to be turning in the papers saying, well, it was basically the form that you fill out when you're coming in from out of the country, but it also asked questions about if you were feeling sick and things like that. And it was, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you guys, the line was probably
from the gate all the way.
I'm going to say 3 to 5 city blocks long. Just picture that in your head. It was. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Even when you went to visit?
No. This is only a one specific thing because of this situation.
No, but I thought.
Yeah, but it's set up differently. When it's normal, they don't ask these things. And there was one guy at the end. He had a mask on, and he was taking. But one person was taking the paper. Everything just done terribly down there. But whatever.
Yeah, and what else? So only one person was wearing a mask because the lady who was helping us, the girl, she didn't have a mask on. She didn't have gloves on. So like some people were still taking it kind of lightly on that day. We got there
Thursday.
Yeah. So we got there, got our luggage, and as we were leaving, then it started getting crazy. Like everybody was done filling up their paper or turning it in. So the airport was interesting. It was dark there. I didn't get any footage of that inside the airport. What you saw was outside the airport. And you saw all those cool old cars there, because we don't have that over here in the States. We don't drive those type of cars like, most people have them for show. But they still have older models of cars there, which was pretty cool.
Well, and a lot of them are also newer models, but they come from Europe. They're the European models, so they're smaller.
So
they're not necessarily older. They're just people.
They look old. That's why I thought they were older. But so we didn't show you the inside of the airport. It was dark in there, but they have little shops like we have here. One thing I will say I felt like they have more of over there was a lot of billboards inside of the airport with like the moving pictures and words and stuff advertising things. I don't feel like we have tall billboards or on the poles of our airports advertising things like in the airports over here. So that was different. So then we get to his uncle's car. You saw that, and we're riding to his aunt's house. So most of Thursday when we got there, nobody was really freaking out yet. They were talking about it. You were talking about it with your uncle, right? Like,
yeah, my aunt was too.
Yeah, no, I'm saying in the car. And stuff. So everybody's talking about it still in a like relaxed fashion. So when we got there, we wanted to shower and everything. But later on that night, we were watching the news, and you had to explain what he was saying because that was all in Spanish. So like explain about dinner and stuff. And
dinner
or like did any time that the epidemic got brought up?
No, I mean we talked about it, I think, but it was, I don't know, it just depends. One of my cousins was very worried. She's 22. She was kind of really panicking, and she was whatever.
Mind you, she went off-roading when she was in college. What country was she in?
Morocco.
Yeah.
She went to Spain for like 6 months.
So mind you.
So, but and then everybody okay, talking about it, whatever. But we're there with family. What are you gonna do? And we came,
we spent all that money to come.
So that's day 2. So that was pretty light, whatever. Let's say day 1 of actually being in Argentina, right? Yeah. Then as we moved to Friday, I guess I'll take on Friday because Friday was kind of a big day. So then Friday, everything was good, whatever. But then halfway through the day, we were going to go over to my uncle's house out in the suburbs that we showed you guys. So he picks us up from my aunt's house. We get in the car, and as we start driving,
that's about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Because that day we stayed in the house.
That's right. So we get in the car, okay. And then his phone, he gets a message, or he gets a call on his phone, and it was his daughter, who's 21 at a performing arts school, and she calls him and she says, "Dad, where are you? Can you come pick me up?" Yeah, I'm not too far from school. Where are you? Well, she says, "I gotta go home." She said, so we wait for her, and she explains that what happened was that the director of the school, the headmaster of the place, asks all the students if anybody has come in contact with anybody who wasn't feeling well, or if they weren't feeling well themselves. So my cousin, she's nice, she's honest, she's not gonna lie or anything. She said, "Well, I mean, my cousin and my aunt are here visiting from the United States." And the lady looks at her and says, "Why did you even come to school today?" She says, "Get out of here, don't come back for 14 days. So my cousin was really, really, really upset, and it really bothered her and made her upset. So we picked her up, we got in the car, whatever. Then we went to the house, and then we're there in the house. We're all just drinking mate, which we explained to you guys in part 2 of the video what that is, and we're just talking and having a good time. And then, she was kind of
eating the pastries.
Eating facturas, and she wasn't feeling well. But as the day went on, we made her feel better and relax and made her laugh, because there's nothing you can do. Don't be upset.
And then you said Monday they wound up sending everybody home anyway.
Yeah, on Monday they ended up
sending. So when we were arriving back in the States,
they decided to do that. Yeah, the level of the country's response to this escalated very, very quickly for the days that we were there. So anyway, and then that same night, that same evening, Friday, my uncle, he owns his own business. He makes purses and belts and things for women down there, and his employees, just put this in context, guys, his employees messaged him and said, because you mentioned to us that your nephew is here visiting from the United States, we don't think that it's a good idea, and we don't feel safe being in the office with you because you may get us sick. So we don't want you to come into the office on Monday, is what they told him. So that was the whole thing. And then, he wasn't as pissed about it as his daughter was about the school thing. But he was like,
But she's supposed to graduate this year. So
right.
That's why she was really...
And she's like, I'm going to miss 2 weeks of school because this and this and this, and I can't. So, it was the whole thing.
And she had a presentation where she was going to work with some students. And she's like, it's going to be hard to show them on the phone and for me to see what they're doing through a phone. That we have that where we can do video chat, but you can't see everybody through the phone. And, so it was just going to be really hard. And due to her graduating which over here seems like people aren't doing the regular graduation, but I think are going to be able to graduate. So maybe it's the same. Maybe the same thing will happen over there if they're having kids not be allowed in schools, hopefully, because she had to do all this hard work over these years,
Yeah, poor Millie. And then, here's the other big thing that happened on Friday. See, Friday was really the biggest day, guys.
Yeah,
so then,
the day before his birthday.
The day before my birthday. So then, also while we're there, my uncle's wife, right, so my aunt, said that she read something, and sure enough, it was true. And it was an article that said that the president of Argentina had decided that by March 17th, everyone who was not from Argentina needed to leave the country. They needed to get out because they were going to close the borders. So, what does that mean? Well, for us, our return trip was scheduled for the 19th. So, that night, my mom and her husband were well, I don't know if she was calling, but she was there with them. But they spent hours trying to get in touch with the airline and of course everybody else was too. So it was impossible to get in touch with somebody, but eventually they were able to call another airline from Argentina, the airline from Argentina, the main one that happens to work with
Delta.
They work with Delta. They happen to work together. So she got in touch with them. They did, and they ended up getting us a ticket. But the only thing they could get us was leaving on Sunday, or actually the other ticket was to say we could leave on Monday. But my mom's like, honestly, should we chance it? Because if they're making these kind of extreme decisions this quickly, Friday, what if he moves it up and says, oh, actually we changed it, instead of the 17th, it's the 16th, and we're stuck. And the thing was that the borders were going to be closed for at least 30 days. At least. So, I mean, worst case, if I have to be down there, I mean, I'd miss something over here. I'd be fine. But I was thinking about Dalesha. She was having a good time and everything, but 30 days?
And it was my first time there.
You're going to miss American food. You're going to miss American TV. All these things. Luckily,
I didn't even bring my iPad. I only had my phone.
Right, but, luckily everybody has Wi-Fi, and she could talk with her friends and her family and everything. But it's not the same,
even just missing our
your
house.
Space. Yeah, your space and everything like that. So
and 30 days, talk about, and then Mother Nature comes and you're in a whole other country, let alone somebody else's house.
See, that's
I don't like doing that or being in that predicament.
So that was something. So we had to get the hell out. So we did. And anyway, that was Friday. No, excuse me. You take Saturday.
Saturday's your birthday.
Yeah, but you gotta tell.
Okay, well, we're gonna bounce back and forth.
Fine, bounce. Oh, don't bounce.
So, mind you, we forgot to mention, I actually was able to sleep pretty good. I don't know if we mentioned that in the other videos. I was worried that I wasn't going to be sleeping that well, so we bought some Benadryl. But we slept pretty good. Well, I did. He's been there before. But
thank you.
But Saturday, we woke up and we woke up kind of late, right? It was like 10.
Yeah, we did.
So, we had a little breakfast with his aunt, and we were gonna go over like at noon or something to have lunch at his cousin's house. Her house was really nice. We didn't get a chance.
The same house we went to on Friday.
No, we had lunch.
You're talking about her apartment. Okay, her apartment.
Yes, a different cousin.
You said house though. That's what I thought.
Did I say house?
Yes.
Oh well, apartment. But you should have known because I said lunch.
No, but I didn't.
Anyway, so it was a nice apartment, but we didn't get a chance to show you. Maybe next time if she's still there. We can show you. But we started celebrating his birthday over there. He blew out a little candle. Yay.
Thank you.
And her house was pretty big. It's really nice. Like the balcony area was super long, and it was nice because it had half a covered area and half non-covered for like if it rains or something. So
it's her first apartment.
Yeah.
So proud of her.
Very spacious. It's a 1-bedroom. But so we had lunch over there. We had like a shrimp pasta kind of thing. That was good. And you got a couple of presents, a nice shirt.
I got a nice shirt, and then my cousin gave me some really nice presents, some things that she had from Grandma's house and things that just reminded her of her and I when we were little and everything, and so she gave me that, and it's just little things, but it wouldn't mean anything to anybody else, but it was...
Yeah, he had like a little teddy bear that he had given his grandma when he was younger, and she kept it on her TV stand, and you know, since she passed away, they went over and got the things out of the house, and that was one of the things, and then he had a baby picture, and like, she put it in this nice frame that looks like a sign. It's the shape of a sign, specific sign that's over there.
Right.
So it's really cool. Maybe one of these days, since we're stuck inside, we can show you.
Maybe.
Then you got a nice shirt, which you probably...
You guys saw it on the
shirt.
thing.
Yeah, because he was talking one part in the front seat. So then we get in his uncle's car after a while, and... we go over back to the house that you see the day before a little
Friday.
bit of. And man, that house is pretty spacious to me. Like, I like it a lot. It had these big picture windows, and there was a balcony in your aunt's jewelry room where she makes jewelry and stuff. Room. It's a jewelry room.
It's an office
room.
There's also a computer there, so
whatever. Anyway, but she doesn't use the balcony, which is sad. So it's just a nice big picture window. But it's very spacious. Like, no, we didn't feel cramped in there at all when everybody showed up, because that's where we were having the actual birthday party. I guess the thing is, they go out there often and have parties, right? That's what y'all do, like for the...
Not often, really. My family
but I'm saying
doesn't.
For like Christmas.
Oh yeah, New Year's,
or like
birthdays.
when you guys go down there. Is what I'm saying. It's like the biggest space.
Right.
They have an outdoor.
There's you guys saw there's a backyard, there's a grill, so we all get together
and a pool. So it was nice. And by the way, let me know in the comments if you guys ever seen a grill like that, was like tall and had like a brick concrete kind of thing up above it, and then like the square rectangular opening. Very different from over here where everybody has to buy a grill and it has wheels on it, and you have it outside. It was very different but very cool. And then so we got there before everybody, so we were just sitting around. They were drinking the tea, was like herbs. They were drinking the herbs that apparently makes you pee a lot.
It makes me pee a lot.
I think your uncle had to pee too.
Yeah, I think he did.
But I don't think your aunt did.
She has problems, apparently.
So then they had this big dispenser, which you probably saw when everybody was introducing themselves. It was behind his aunt and his uncle, and it was this brown, like, thing, and that's where they keep the herbs. He decided to build it inside their house. I guess he loves it that much. And then, so we had a celebration. We're just trying to enjoy that day because the next day we were leaving. So we had a really short trip.
Luckily, it was late at night on Sunday, so we still had the entire Sunday pretty much to be there. So that at least, that's the only upside I could find to the whole thing. But
yeah, I know. I got to try the pizza there. The first slice I had was not very...
Wait a minute. Hold on. Slow down. You're moving all the way to Sunday, and that's supposed to be my day. You did Saturday.
We were supposed to bounce back and forth. You were supposed to jump in on Saturday, but you haven't yet.
Oh.
Anyway. Oh, and over there, I don't know if y'all paid attention, but they have twin beds instead of big beds. Like you know, when I was growing up, and I finally had my own bedroom in like, 3rd grade, I had a full-size bed, and like the dresser and everything, like a whole bedroom set, and I had a full-size bed. But over there, his two cousins, their bedroom, they had a twin bed, and one bed was like a captain's bed, which, you know, you pull out the bottom. And it was nice, and I guess it leaves you with a lot of space in the middle of the room. But I was so used to seeing, like, my friend, she had a full-size bed. I think one of my other friends, she had a twin bed. But I'm used to seeing people's bedroom sets, like teenagers and stuff, with a full-size bed over here, and at least girls. And it was just different over there. But
and it's cultural differences, right? Cars are smaller. People don't think about having big giant of everything. You don't eat big giant amounts of food. You don't have a big giant car. You don't have big giant beds if you don't need them.
But they have a bidet, which over here everybody thinks is really fancy.
Right, it's a fancy thing over here. Over there, it's just a standard thing that everybody has because it's, again, right. So,
but I'm scared to use that thing because I'm thinking, what if it sprays me everywhere? Like, what if I don't aim it right and then it sprays my butt
then you hop
and
in
my
the shower
back?
and you clean up. Who cares? If you
No,
need to.
I'm not talking about.
No, I
poop
know,
going everywhere.
I
I'm talking
know,
about,
but I'm just saying, big deal. You're right
No.
next to a tub. You can always wash up if you need to. If it sprays everywhere, dry off.
But if I'm at somebody's house, no, I can't. Like if I was, like let's say I did it at your uncle's house, and then all of my clothes get wet. But I never seen you use it.
Yeah, you haven't been in the bathroom with me, have you?
You haven't asked me to come.
That'd be a little weird. So then Sunday,
and then you guys get to see the cute cat who we had a hard time kind of winning over. He's very antisocial.
Milo is his name.
Yes, he's very antisocial, and he's chunky.
He is chunky.
But he finally came around. Oh, and this guy stepped on his tail on the first day in his house. Stepped on his tail. Like, come out the bathroom and just clomping around. And you should know Milo wanted to stand by the bathroom. That's what the cat does for some reason. He stands by I saw him do that quite a few times. He stood by the guest bathroom. I don't know why, but yeah. So
basically it's my fault.
Yeah, you clumped on his tail, you like stepped on and just mushed it.
Oh, see, she's adding an extra shit here.
But at the end, he got him back because he wouldn't leave out of our room like the day before the last day, and he was crawling all over our stuff. Because it's like shelves and stuff. You guys probably saw that, and he was jumping all over things. Then he went under the bed, and you wanted to go to sleep, and he didn't want to let you go to sleep. So yeah,
he's a pain in the ass cat. Let me tell you.
He was sweet. He finally came to us. So.
And then Sunday, let's finish this up here. We don't want to get too long-winded, guys, and boring.
Probably already long, but either way.
Sunday, it was a good day. We really didn't do much. We did go out for pizza. That's what she was mentioning or foreshadowing a little bit ago. And we sat outside. Oh, so let me tell you that story. So we go to a little pizza place. It's just around my aunt's place. We go.
Was it Saturday or Sunday? I was starting to really get my appetite, and I was wanting more and more boiled eggs.
And my aunt was like, more? She couldn't believe it. She's eating like a whole carton of eggs here.
Whatever.
Anyway, so fine. Sunday. Did you really need to interject that?
Yes.
Whatever. Then Sunday we go to have pizza.
Because I mentioned
nice little outside place.
How I didn't have an appetite on the other video.
Oh, I see. So we decided to sit outside. It was a really nice day, maybe like 73 degrees out, nice breeze. It was beautiful. So we sit outside, and
it was only one day at night.
There was maybe 8 of us there, let's say. It was Dalesha, myself, my mom, her husband Diego, and then the rest of
the family.
The rest of my aunt's family. So
and your cousin's boyfriend.
One of my cousin's boyfriends. So maybe another 4 or 5 people. So about 8 of us, let's say. So we're all sitting out there, and so the waiter comes by and he's giving us the different food and whatever. Anyway, part of the way through the meal, right? So just to put this in context, so for you guys to know, in our group, there are 2 people who stood out, right? I would say, in my opinion, my mom's husband,
he's Argentinian too, but
his parents are Argentinian, right? But he's large. He's a little bit overweight. I'm only saying that because over there you don't really see overweight people like that in Buenos Aires. And he dresses more like an American, t-shirt and shorts and some white sneakers. That's not how people dress in Buenos Aires, really. So he kind of stood out in that respect. And then Dalesha also, because we don't have people of African descent in Buenos Aires. You just don't see that. I mean, if you do, they're either from Brazil or they're American. They're not Argentinian.
They're from Brazil, and what do they do? What's the assumption that they do?
They're prostitutes. Because really if they're from Brazil, they may be a tourist, but
depending on how you dress, I guess.
Yeah, most of the black women that you do see in Argentina, most will assume they're prostitutes because a lot of them, sadly, they do end up doing prostitution. They come there hoping for better things. They immigrate to Buenos Aires, but a lot of them end up in prostitution. So fine, whatever, doing that kind of stuff. But
I don't dress that way.
So. No. Okay, just to put it, so Dalesha and I are sitting like we're sitting now. Let's say she was on my opposite side, but it doesn't matter. Behind us was the pizza place. In front of us was the street. So, behind us was the restaurant. Right down, one building down, there was an apartment building. There was a woman on her balcony, or in her window. taking pictures, holding her camera. So we assumed that she was taking pictures of us because
of the difference.
Because of assuming we're American and because of the thing that's going on right now. So
also, I think your mom mentioned since we were speaking English, they were speaking English to me, and that's when they happened to all kind of notice her. So she probably thought, like you said, we're all American, at least the ones down at the end.
Right, I guess Dalesha could have been Brazilian. But so then. Anyway, she started. We thought she was taking pictures, whatever. So then my cousin said, "Okay, fine. Well, I'll get a picture of her too." So she pulls out her phone and starts taking a picture of her. And the woman at one point says, "No, I'm sorry. I just have this new camera and I'm just trying to focus it and see how the thing works." Blah 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 blah. And obviously she's bullshitting. But then so my cousin's like, we all assume. And then my cousin's like, "No, that's okay. If you want in a minute, we can come over there and sign autographs for you or something. If you want to keep getting pictures of us, fine." So
then she turned her music up.
The panic. Right. Then she went back and turned on music. The panic had already ensued, if you will. I mean, really, and compared to when we got there, I mean, people were already a little bit scared, but then at that point, it escalated really quickly.
Really
so
fast,
it's good that we left when we did, because I think she would have been miserable, and I think even still,
we didn't even bring that amount of clothes either.
The other thing, guys, to keep in mind is that Argentina, I think I mentioned it in one of the videos, but Argentina is the opposite season-wise as us, which means they just finished their summer now, so they're going into winter. So the expectation is that things are going to get worse there before they get better, because in winter it supposedly lives more, right, or better, or transmits more. Yeah. Which means that even though the president said we're going to keep all the borders closed for 30 days, what's going to get better? More than likely, nothing's going to get better, and that closure of the borders of traveling and everything, that's going to extend, so more than likely we would have been stuck there for more than 30 days. So anyway, it's a good thing we left.
And people being off work and stuff.
And then on the way back, then let me finish off Sunday a little bit. So then we get to the airport.
It's crazy.
And it was unbelievable lines, because everybody is like us. They're trying to get out of the country before they close the borders. We're all there last minute.
And maybe not everybody's going back to the States, but
so
going
maybe
to where
Canada or to Spain or wherever they live, or Chile, different countries. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So there were just lines and lines and lines. No clear signs.
To where it says line up.
Insanity. Everybody at that point had on gloves. Everybody had on masks.
Well,
most did.
I was going to say,
but it was a different scene.
Yeah,
for sure.
Some people either had masks on and gloves, and some people had masks on, no gloves. Like, everybody did their own little thing. So it's like you're not even really taking precautions, because you're half-assing the situation, like the setup, or either your boss didn't tell you that you could do it however you want to do. Right. So so then there was that. And
then on the one thing I don't know if we mentioned is that we needed to. So this last minute ticket that we had to change and everything, the only way they could do it is they had to add an extra leg of a trip, an extra stop, which was New York. So we went from Buenos Aires.
Dropping us in where everything is crazy.
So Buenos Aires to JFK, New York, then from JFK to Atlanta, then from Atlanta back to St. Louis. So it was a long day. The traveling between the time we started and the time we actually got back home, because from St. Louis we have to drive a little bit. I think we were traveling for 23 hours, almost a full day nonstop,
including the car ride.
Yeah, about 24 hours. I would say.
Oh my gosh,
it was long.
He was able to sleep on the overnight, but he still felt bad. Like, you can only get so comfortable on the airplane, and we didn't have the comfort seating
this time
going back, because his mom did the tickets and the lady was nice to us going there. Yeah. So, so we didn't have the comfort seating. So I basically was up all night because I didn't take a Benadryl. Because I thought well, your mom was watching me.
Oh. She was sleepy too.
No, she wasn't. At one point she was up, because she was up until dinner, and dinner was like at 1 a.m, which is weird, because going there, dinner was like at 11, like pretty much when we took off, so 11, 12ish. So I don't know why they had such a late thing. And so it was uncomfortable, and I was trying to sleep on the domestic flights. Those are called domestic, right?
Yes, we. Sorry.
And so I was trying to sleep then, but I couldn't get too comfortable because they were pretty short in comparison. And then when we were getting on the plane, and he fell asleep like as soon as we got on the plane this time, because you were really tired for some reason. I don't know why, but compared to when we first were headed to there. And then so I'm listening to people getting on, and one person that like kind of diagonally behind me, it was a guy. He was sitting there with his mask on, and then this lady comes and she's like, "Oh, do you mind if I could I have the outside seat?" And because I have this issue she had, I guess like maybe she had a bladder issue or something. And he's like, "Oh no, I'm sorry, I need to stretch out my legs." So she had to just go in and deal with sitting by the window. Luckily, it didn't escalate. And like, at first she went up to the front or like to the back to see if she could find other people to swap seats with or something, but probably everybody was with their family, so that wasn't going to happen. I think most people were with their family if they weren't there like as a tourist or as for work, so that probably wasn't going to happen. And then I just listened to my book, so it was just a really long travel, night and day. And then when we get home, a friend of ours, he's older. He's their friend, like his mom's friend. He wanted us to sit in the back, whereas at first you were allowed to sit in the front because he was just really panicked about it. I mean, mind you, he's like, what,
He's an
80?
No,
70?
He's 70-something.
So, yeah, so we understand that, you know, we didn't take
But I
any
guess
offense.
the point of this is how
Quickly
things escalated and changed. We're talking about a matter. I mean, the trip was supposed to be, remember, like 9 or 10 days, guys. It ended up only being like 4 or 5 days that we were gone. I mean, but in a matter of 4 or 5 days, it just how our friend got and everything. And you know, like we said, it's understandable, but it's just
and how everything got shut down. You know,
mind you, we got back and we realized that there was no toilet paper left. That was the big thing. My mom texted me from Nashville and she's like, "Hey." She's like, "I just want you to know." She's like, "I went to Walmart, Target, Walgreens, CVS.
So
I can't find any toilet paper anywhere." So I thought, "Shit, I better go out and get something." So I left and I went to Walgreens at first thing in the morning, and you know what?
I'm just saying, should we make a part 2?
That's it. That's the end of the trip. That's the end of the story, guys.
But I was just gonna say that we're filming this like a week and a half after we got back. So, you know, as you're seeing this, like the rest of you, we're on the lockdown. We're in Illinois.
Yes.
So only stores that are needed to be open are open.
Correct. And we go out only when we need to go out. So, you know.
Hopefully, you know, you guys, if you haven't seen part 1 and part 2,
watch
it and
please
leave a comment and a thumbs up. And since you're stuck indoors, there's no excuse.
Share it.
There's no excuse why you don't have anything to watch.
Exactly. Hopefully we can entertain you a little bit with our trip and our adventure. So, thank you guys again for watching.
The next video you probably see is like our quarantine
part 1
life.
Exactly. Thanks for watching. Nice talking to you guys, and we will see you in our next video. Bye, guys.